I'm Kate, and I'm the designer maker behind the independent jewellery brand Factory Floor Jewels. Thanks for stopping by at my booth at the Top Drawer On Demand show today. I hope that you're finding it a useful way to continue to meet and interact with makers and manufacturers to buy gifts for your beautiful shops and galleries. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about my business today. So each piece is lovingly designed and handmade by me in my Liverpool studio. And my work and the brand and the story behind it, as the name implies, is really about my fascination with the engineering and the marine history in the city that I've grown up in and that I've come back to live in. So I have two main ways of working with my jewellery, and all of that's really focused at the retail market. I take my original inspiration, as I've said, from pieces of material and components that come from industry, engineering, manufacturing, the marine sector as well. And I work with them to create initially one-off pieces. So I do have a range of couture items that are more usually worked in sterling silver and are sold perhaps directly to customers or through some high-end galleries. But what I've then done is I've kind of synthesised the work from those individual pieces and I've put them into production processes that I can manufacture on a continual or repeat basis on small batch production, still made by myself, still made by hand. And they're aimed particularly at boutiques, galleries, gift shops, department stores and online retailers. And I have been working with a number of quite high-end and well-known customers recently. So in the last 18 months, I've been working with the Tate galleries, so selling to Tate Modern and Tate Britain, and my ranges there became some of their fastest selling jewellery ranges ever, which was fabulous, not just to work with such a prestigious environment, but also to see the potential that my pieces have to bring in income for retailers in these difficult times. So that's been fantastic. And then I've also been working with a number of independent retailers. And obviously during these times it's very difficult for this sector, and I understand that. So what I've been focusing on in the last 6 months has been actually how I can support those retailers that stock my work. So I've been jumping on and doing Facebook Lives with people, come and meet the maker, come and ask me questions, learn about my new pieces that are coming up, etc., and sharing that with their customers. So I do hope that would be that's getting to work with you would be the start of that kind of relationship if you would like to stock my work in your shop or in your online spaces. So I work, sometimes I work with scrap material, sometimes I work with things that are quite limited edition. So these earrings that I'm wearing so they're plastic, and I don't buy plastic to work with, but this was scrap from a neighbour of mine in the studio space that I am. They were manufacturing some trophies for an award ceremony, and they were using this iridescent perspex material. You'll see it takes on different colours as it moves around. And there was going to be a lot of wastage. So I've got a limited run of these earrings, but it's still big enough to put into retail. So, but when they're gone, they're gone. So they won't be in my catalogue forever. And I'm launching some new pieces at Top Drawer this spring. I'm launching this collection. I think you just about see it. So it's a resin and concrete. So it's a really, really dark grey. It's almost black. It's not 100% black. But I've got pieces, I've got rings. So this is an adjustable ring, you'll see. So that's really easy to market through shops. And it also has earrings and pendants in the same collection. This is a very popular range which I've launched since Top Drawer last year. So this is in 2 lengths, this necklace, so it's 2 separate necklaces. This is a 28-inch necklace, and this is an 18-inch necklace pendant. So these are just stainless steel chains and aluminium drops on them. And I also do this with copper on as well. So a lot of my work is about combining the materials that I find. So you'll find that I combine things like steel and copper, aluminium, brass. I've recently got a collection that's coming out that's got bronze in it. And that was a scrap waste material from a foundry near to my studio, which is actually manufacturing large-scale public art. And literally the filings that are coming out of the process, the waste tiny fragments of bronze, I've taken them and I'm working with them. So you'll see them in my catalogue. You can make an appointment with me through this wonderful platform that Top Drawer have developed. You can make an appointment to chat to me during the next week or so, and you can always email me directly. I'm quick to respond. You can also download my catalogue, my wholesale catalogue. I have very small minimum orders. £150 is my minimum order. £250 orders get carriage paid, and I have a smaller minimum order for repeat restock orders. So a lot of independent retailers are finding this very easy to work with. And even though I'm making things by hand myself, I've got relatively quick turnaround. I do tend to stock some of my most sort of popular ranges, so I can normally turn those around within a week. But even where it's something that I'm making to order for you, I'm tending to do 2 to 3 weeks maximum on order. So please do get in touch, and I'm just going to show you now, guide you through some slides that show you some of the ranges that I'm marketing as well. But the full range is in the catalogue, so do have a look at that. Okay, I look forward to speaking to you and hopefully working with you in the future as a stockist of Factory Floor Jewels. Thank you. And so I'll talk you through some of the collections now. And any of the prices that I mention are retail prices, and my markup is 2.4. I always try to launch a new collection when I come to Top Drawer. So this year for spring 2021, I'm launching my concrete collection. And this is just simply stunning. I'm so pleased with how it's turned out. It looks like it's a deep black. If you look really, really carefully, it's got a hint of grey, it's got a hint of brown, and it's a mix of concrete and resin. So it's like a polished concrete effect. And that truly is the factory floor. So I've brought the collection out for Top Drawer, and it's available for the first time to retailers. So nobody else is stocking this yet. Be the first to buy it. And it includes a pendant on a snake chain, which you have a choice of having that in sterling silver or in silver plate. And then there's some dangly earrings, and I'm just doing these with sterling silver ear hooks. And again, I've got this beautiful adjustable ring that's in silver plate. It's a very popular ring style. It's something that I've used before for other ranges. And then I've got beautiful, delicate sterling silver stud earrings, which I think are going to be very, very popular. So again, this is just, it looks like a shiny black finish. If you look really closely, it's kind of got hints of brown, hints of grey, but they contrast beautifully with the silver. I'm just going to show you a brand new collection, which is really one of my favourites right now. I'm wearing it a lot myself. I don't know if it's the kind of icy cold of winter that's settling in that reminds me of these pieces. But yeah, I'm using aluminium pieces on the sterling silver hoops. And then I've done necklaces. I've done 2 of them. One is 18 inches and one is 28 inches. And I've literally launched them in the last couple of weeks. And they're really, really popular and just so good. A brand new item into the Factory Floor Jewels collection is the bronze swarf studs. They're sterling silver ear studs. They're 6mm diameter, so quite tiny, quite delicate, and they're filled with bronze shavings. These are tiny flakes of bronze. They actually come from a foundry that makes really large-scale public art, huge statues that you see in city centres, etc., all over the world. And they're made near to my studio, and I've just captured some of these beautiful flakes in this kind of clear resin that I use, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So the Swarf collection is one that I'm really well known for, and I completely love it because it mixes different textures and colours of metal, which is quite indicative of the Factory Floor Jewels range. So this one, if you don't know what Swarf is, it's effectively I call it like metal sawdust. It's the fragments of metal that come off a milling machine, and it comes in all sorts of textures and colours and different metals and shapes and etc. And what I've used here is I've used brass swarf, and I've set it into really clear, like glass type resin. It's beautiful, and chosen settings for it in either sterling silver or silver plate. So a key feature is the statement ring. It's £25 and it's really nice and chunky, and it's got a nice thick adjustable ring shank, so it's perfect for everybody. And that also comes with a choice of earrings in small little delicate studs or slightly bigger dangly earrings, and a nice statement necklace on a silver or silver plated snake chain. And interestingly, in this range I've got cufflinks, and that's just perfect because the material that I'm using is going to appeal to your dads or your partners or your brothers, etc., that perhaps work in industry and understand what swarf is. So I'd encourage you to have a look at that because it's quite a fun range. Another really popular range in the Factory Floor Jewels collections is the nuts range. And this is a brilliant one if you're looking to buy for somebody else. I always talk about this as it having just such beautiful tones of different metals. And so it's really easy to buy it because it goes with everybody's skin tone and hair tone, colouring, etc. So in the nuts range, we are mixing silver or silver plate with steel and brass, and it's really simple and classic. It's just a collection of nuts strung onto very simple snake chains or hung on really delicate kidney shape ear wires. And recently I introduced the sterling silver hoop earrings, which are flying out, to be honest. Sterling silver is obviously for some people what they want for their ears rather than a silver plate, and these are just £25. They're 30 millimeter diameter hoop, so they're not massive, but they're quite bold, but they still look really delicate with just 3 different mixed coloured nuts on them. So if you like the mix of different metals, then I've got quite a few pieces that explore mixing copper with silver. And the first one is the Copper Drops collection. So there's a small pendant in that which is 18 inches, and it's got matching ear wires that are kind of quite large but delicate, if that makes sense. So they're long, they're quite a long drop, like a wishbone shape with the copper drops on the end of them. And also I've got the hoop earrings, again the sterling silver hoop earrings with some copper pieces on those as well. And then I've started to experiment mixing the copper and aluminium and steel. So quite a number of pieces in the collection that mix those quite contrasting metals really well. We've got the circlips, which are lovely. They're black and silver, and that contrast is just gorgeous. So that's a pendant, a choice of earrings, large or small. And the large ones, although they're quite bold, they are really still quite light to wear. And a beautiful delicate bracelet, which is sterling silver and the black powder-coated metal. And then I've got quite a few items that come from the Marina in Liverpool. And so there's an Art Deco neck cuff in that, which is gorgeous. Not heavy at all. It's on sterling silver and it uses steel components. And then I've got a new unisex necklace, which is a leather thong, like a grey leather thong with a shackle on it. And that's really lovely. That's really popular. So I hope you've enjoyed that brief overview of my latest products and some of my best sellers. There's lots more in the catalogue, so do please download that, and obviously my terms and conditions are in there as well. I'd really like to have a chat to you about your store and how we could work together, so please do get in touch either through the panel on this website, or if you want to just email me, it's kate@factoryfloorjewels.com and we can arrange to have a chat. Thanks a lot.